What is this life, this existence, this being, this experience we are having, if not an exploration, you know? What else would we be doing with all of this but just exploring, discovering, becoming, finding out, fucking around and finding out, testing edges, meeting boundaries, going beyond boundaries. Where's the limits? Is there limits? What is a limit? There's a path that you can very easily go down in this society that we live in. And that path isn't particularly conducive to exploration, you know, in its fullest sense, in its fullest possibility. I was thinking about this, like, you know, we do this, to get here, and then, oh, and then we're there. Great, we're there. Cool, you're there. Now what? Like, once you're there, wherever that is for you, right? You've been doing things because you think you want to get to here, right? Now you're there. How long do you need to keep having the experience of being there? You know, there's so much. There is so much to see, to explore, to feel, to become. And we place limits on ourselves, right? Often coming from a place of fear and coming from the kind of the assumptions, the beliefs, the limiting stories that we are perceiving this existence and ourselves through, rooted in things we've picked up from other people, right? We're living out stories that have been formed around the stories of other people. And you have to go beyond that, right? To the fullest extent. And of course we all do. You know, that's the process of growing up and becoming and whatever. But it's easy to stop short. It's easy to kind of challenge only so much, question only so much. There's a lot of fear built around going beyond that, right? Because it involves a death. It involves a death of our current experience of self. And when we're identified with that experience of self, we perceive the breaking of that, the going beyond that, the letting go of that, the shattering of that, to be literal death. And so there's big fears that come with that. But of course, we should always walk towards that which we fear, because there lies our growth, there lies our becoming, there lies our expansion and our exploration. What lies on the other side of this current limitation, of this current boundary, this current layer of illusion that we're currently perceiving from. So there's that, right? There's the exploration in terms of the outer world, right? The outer world, like getting to this point and thinking, okay, I'm there. But what else? And then getting to a point within yourself, being comfortable where you are at, right? Cool, but what else? And maybe that's not for everyone, I don't know. Maybe that's just, you know. But for me, there has to be constant exploration, constant evolution, constant expansion. And I don't think, you know, I think that is universal. It's literally universal, right? The universal law of expansion, of becoming, of unfolding. Always more, and always towards wholeness, always towards fullness, always life, right? The life that is within you is seeking to become the fullest life that it can possibly be. And as I say, there's a certain path that is laid out in this society that isn't conducive to that, isn't conducive to you being the most, the fullest experience of life that you can be. And that's no good. That's no good, you know. And I'm sure that's a big part of, I don't know, there's many things, right, that contribute to this, but we're a sick society on all levels of our being, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We are sick as a people in very not insignificant ways, right? That's a natural consequence of putting all these limitations, these hindrances, these blockages to our becoming, our unfolding, our movement towards wholeness, to fullness. We can experience that kind of sickness, that kind of decay, that kind of shrinking, becoming less, when we meet these blockages, right? And there is the invitation to go beyond that. When we're having these contractions, when we're having these kind of struggles within ourselves, there's the invitation, there's the opportunity to break through that layer and to go into something more, into something bigger, into something more expansive, a more full experience, recognition, perspective, understanding, and becoming of the life that you are. So there's the becoming within, and there's the exploration of within, and there's the exploration of all around us, right? When we set goals of what we want to do, what we want to achieve, it's good to have that. It's important to have that, and especially if it's coming from, you know, a truly aligned place of what your heart really wants to move towards and work towards. But often that can pull us in certain ways, but then the mind will jump in and try and put it into boxes, right? There's a movement towards something, and then our mind will try and make it like fit into something. And again, there's something to be said for that, and that can be part of the process. But ultimately, it doesn't matter about what we think it should then be, right? The process. It's the process. It's the process of exploring that, of becoming that. It's not the how that then looks in accordance to certain metrics that we create, right? Within ourselves and within this society. It's the movement. Where is this wanting to move towards? And when we set these kind of mental then goals and intentions and what we want that to look like, we can get wrapped up in that and then lose touch with where this is actually wanting to go, because you might not have noticed, but like ages ago this is going, oh well, yeah, but now over here, right? This might be kind of going and then he's going along with it, and then but out of nowhere this might be going somewhere else, right? This might want something else, this might want to explore something else, to see something else, to be something else. And I think it's important to like loosen our grip on that, right? As I said, we tighten our grip around these things that we think we want and we need and we should achieve and blah, blah, blah. And the place for that, as I said, especially when it's in alignment with this, but not to the detriment of then the next movement, the next horizon that this is wanting to see and explore. And that's a tricky balance, right? Because we're talking essentially about the balance between heart and mind in some way. And we have to hold both of those, and there's equal space for both of those. But they have to work together in tandem, right? And it's easy, as I say, to kind of have those two aligned, going in the same direction, but then you might not notice that, oh, no, we're going somewhere else now. We're going somewhere else now. And when you're still there, but this is wanting to go there, tension can come then, sickness can come then. And ultimately, this is much more likely to get wrapped up in movements, in urges, in desires that are not of you truly, right? That are not of you and your heart and what the life within you is wanting to see and experience and become. It's very easy when we're acting from here to get wrapped up in all these other things, what other people want, what other people expect, what our fears and our beliefs are driving us towards. So what does this want? Where is this looking to go next? Are you in alignment with that? Has it changed and you haven't acknowledged and addressed that and changed with it, moved with it? It's always moving. It's always moving. Move with it.